Blacksmithing is the manipulation of metal through heat and hammer. You can do anything you want to a piece of iron. You're only limited by your imagination. And by getting that iron hot, I can imagine what that piece is going to look like at the end. I myself am a utilitarian blacksmith. I like my iron to be used, not just looked at. So I make a lot of tools, camping equipment, and things of that nature. Because I like my stuff to be used and not just looked at. I started out as a farrier, as a horseshoer, and I went to Oklahoma horseshoeing school, and part of the curriculum was making horseshoes for doing corrective work, and I really got into that. I came home and got married, and my wife made a mistake and let my wife get one of those country sampler magazines, and she saw something in there and said, well, that's kind of neat. And I said, yeah. I was too cheap to buy it through the magazine, so I went to town, spent 3 times as much money and bought some scrap iron. I had the forge for making horseshoes, so figured out how to make it. Basically, blacksmithing is the same today as it was 3,000 years ago. There are things that I can do in a fire that aren't feasible to do by machine. I can make minute adjustments in something. You have a grill work over a window, security screen. I can tweak one piece of iron in the middle of that as a blacksmith. To re-equip and set up a machine to make that one bend is not feasible. And making it by hand gives each piece a different character. I tell a lot of my customers, if you want something identical to this, go talk to a machinist. Each hammer mark that's in that iron gives it its own character. You can see an old piece and try and reproduce it, but until you figure out how that was made, you can't reproduce it. And finding the way that was done excites the heck out of me. And then demonstrating the blacksmithing here at the museum, when a kid sees something and he doesn't understand it, and he watches you make it, and all at once you can just see the light come on. They finally understand it. That's probably the most enjoyable part of blacksmithing to me is watching the kids finally understand it. You don't have to get that at Walmart. You can make it. My favorite thing to make is what the visitor wants. I've seen a lot of good blacksmiths get in a rut. They go out and demonstrate something, and they get really good at making S-hooks. And that's all they demonstrate is S-hooks. They don't get out of their comfort zone. I like to make what the visitor wants to see, because if I can make something that you are interested in, you're going to observe, watch, and learn that piece a lot more than just coming in and saying, well, I'm making S-hooks today. How many S-hooks can you watch a person make?